What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and Phase 6 of the MCU might not be all what you think it's going to be. If Marvel Studios is planning on doing what these reports are suggesting that they're going to do, then Phase 6 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be insane. And Marvel Studios is going to switch things up on us in a really great way. Now, fans are already super stoked for Phase 6 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We have Deadpool 3, the Fantastic Four finally entering the MCU, and of course our two big Avengers films, Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. But what if I told you Marvel Studios is kind of going to have a phase within a phase? Kind of like a phase 6.5 or a 6.1 phase. And this sort of sub-phase is not going to be set in our main MCU universe that we've known all of these years, but will be set in other universes in the multiverse. If Marvel pulls this off and then brings it together for a grand finale in Secret Wars, this could literally be the greatest superhero event of all time. And that's really what Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame was. And of course, Marvel Studios is trying to outdo what they did before. They're trying to go bigger, but they're also, of course, trying to go better. And Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, has already stated there's no point in going bigger just to go bigger. It all has to make sense. But with what we're going to talk about in this video today, it all really does make sense. And if you want to keep up to date with the latest Marvel news, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. Winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. Also, check out our Patreon, website, and Discord. We'll link those down below. Now, we've heard whispers of this before, but in a recent report, it gets further backed up that Marvel Studios is planning on dividing Secret Wars into a Part 1 and a Part 2 event. And understand that we are specifically talking about Secret Wars. We are not talking about Kang Dynasty being Part 1 and Secret Wars being Part 2. We're talking about Secret Wars, the movie itself, being split in half as a Part 1 and a Part 2 film. And yes, Kang Dynasty is kind of going to be the beginning of where the multiverse kind of starts to fall apart and incursions happen. So that could be kind of considered a Part 1, and then we get a Part 2 and a Part 3. But it sounds like a lot is going to be happening between the Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars Part 1, and then a lot could possibly happen between Part 1 and Part 2 of Avengers Secret Wars. And if this is Marvel's plan, it is going to be so good. Now, right now, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is in theaters, and fans are raving about it. And if you've been following a lot of the news, you can see that it really does look like the Spider-Verse is actually going to cross over into Secret Wars. And in a recent report from Alex P over at the Cosmic Circus, during their podcast, Alex stated that they've heard that some of the Spider-Verse characters will be in Secret Wars. Then Alex also stated that Marvel Studios is having discussions right now about having Avengers Secret Wars being two parts and having a phase about Battleworld between them, meaning between Part 1 and Part 2 of Secret Wars. This sets up something really huge that could happen, something that has never been done in the MCU. We're going to see events come together in ways that we have never seen them before. Now, what we have heard before is that Marvel Studios is planning on doing some projects between the Kang Dynasty and between Secret Wars that could take place entirely in other universes across the multiverse, which is a brilliant idea because we could have another Avengers film. However, it could be about a completely different set of Avengers, or just an entirely different team altogether that is responsible for protecting Earth. Think Multiverse of Madness and the Illuminati. Imagine getting to see a movie based off of that universe's Illuminati team, a little bit on how they were formed, how they came together, and about what they are dealing with the current state of the multiverse starting to collapse essentially. All the incursions start happening, and all of these different versions of Kang starting to threaten these other universes, and essentially try to take them over or completely destroy them altogether, because we have seen visions of Kang or flashbacks of Kang simply annihilating planets that he's been on, and we saw this in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania when Janet Van Dyne touched his chair. So we might get to see other teams in other universes start to deal with Kang in their own universes. And the great thing is that these teams are going to be variants of characters that we know and love, and we're also going to see teams like the X-Men in other universes, and teams where the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, where they're all a part of one team working together, something we've been dying for, to see these three major teams collide and come together and fight alongside each other. That's what we could be getting between the Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars Part 1. Now, this report from Alex P hearing that they're considering doing a Battle World event between the two of them in a separate phase, this mini phase we've been talking about, that could be absolutely epic, because what Battle World is in the comics is a world, a planet that has been created, and created by Doctor Doom nonetheless, but created using the remnants of a shattered multiverse essentially. What happens is the multiverse does indeed collapse and reality is destroyed, so the remnants that are left of each of the universes are put together to form one world. This makes all of the different variants and characters come together and finally interact with each other. So just imagine this for the MCU. Avengers Kang Dynasty shows us Kang, shows us what he is truly made of. And I mean truly made of, because we should have not seen Kang lose to Ant-Man in Quantumania. But anyways, we essentially see Kang win in Avengers the Kang Dynasty. The Avengers realize, hey, this guy is a huge threat in our multiverse, and our reality as we know it is in grave danger. Then in Avengers Secret Wars Part 1, it's kind of like a Thanos snap. They lose to Kang or many different versions of Kang, and the multiverse kind of gets destroyed. Then they're left with kind of remnants of universes that used to be. We saw this a little bit in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange went to a universe that was destroyed. It was still kind of intact, but it was pretty messed up. That's what we could be seeing. And we could see the survivors of those universes, who are more than likely just going to be the super people, get put on another world filled with the other survivors, the other super people, the other superheroes and teams. And this is where they come together and decide, hey, we have to work together to defeat Kang and get our multiverse back, to fix the incursions that have happened and restore everything. And it seems like this is possible based off of what Clea told Doctor Strange in the post credits of Multiverse of Madness. She said Doctor Strange caused an incursion and they're gonna fix it. Now in the comics, the Secret Wars events, they do fix them, and one of the key characters in that is Reed Richards. He fixes and essentially resets the events of Secret Wars. The multiverse gets restored, and Reed Richards is going to be a pretty key player in the multiverse saga. He's getting introduced in the Fantastic Four movie in Phase 6. And let's not forget who he is. He is the smartest man alive. That's even how he was introduced in Multiverse of Madness. And I would be curious to see if more than one Reed ends up on a battle world. I'm wondering if we're going to get sort of a loose adaptation of the Council of Reeds, which is basically a big team of Reed Richards from a lot of different universes. So here's the map, the roadmap of if this happens in the MCU, this is how it's going to go down. We'll have Avengers the Kang Dynasty, where the Avengers will most likely lose to Kang, and from there, the multiverse kind of starts to fall apart. Between the Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars Part 1, we could see movies that take place in other universes. Other Avengers teams, Fantastic Four, the Illuminati, X-Men, you name it. Then we'll see Avengers Secret Wars Part 1, where they will truly lose. Each universe will lose, including our main one, and Kang or multiple Kangs will truly control the multiverse, and it'll probably start falling apart. From there, the shattered universe could kind of start to come together with broken pieces forming Battle World, where the heroes will all get together and figure out some type of a plan to defeat Kang or multiple Kangs. And then we dive into Avengers Secret Wars Part 2, where we have this absolutely epic, huge finale with all of these different heroes and a lot of different variants going up against a lot of different Kangs. I'm sure you can imagine it in your head. It's basically a big Avengers assemble scene, but with more than one variant of each character. So you could probably see how this would just be a complete game changer for superhero movies in general. It would be absolutely insane. And I know they're still writing the script right now, but I do hope they break it off into 2 movies, and I do hope this is their plan to kind of introduce a little sub-phase in there for Phase 6. But let us know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Give us your thoughts. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest MCU news. You can always follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.